Did you have a good weekend? Welcome, everybody. Jason Schultz here with my buddy John Stranley, one of the voices, one of the most familiar voices of the Badger State Tractor Pullers. And we are talking about Badger State Tractor Pullers tonight, Monday, June 26th. Our show is called Down and Dirty with the Badger State Pullers. Our El Presidente, Mr. Greg Elsing, I guess it's his birthday today, and he turns 40. So I think they're taking him out tonight, John. Is that what you heard?
That's the rumor on the street, yeah. But 40, I think you're a little off when it comes to numbers.
Yeah, I was just trying to be nice, trying to give him some compliments, if you know what I'm saying. So, how are you, buddy?
I see Kyle Raleigh is on there. Oh, Craig Johnson, the old truck puller, on tonight. So, hey, Kyle.
Yeah. So we're having a good time. John and I are gonna kind of do an event recap from Shopiere. John, were you down there? Were you on the mic down there Saturday night?
Yep.
Okay, and then we're going to talk about. Yeah, it looked like it was. I got the videos. So Brandon Johnson was down there, one of our Facebook entrepreneurial experts, and he got some video, and we shared some of that video there at the beginning of the show. So we're happy to do that. And then we're going to talk about 4 great events coming up really right after the 4th of July. I think it goes Edgerton, Jefferson, something, and then Darlington. I got to look at the schedule. I was going to be all prepped up, but I didn't quite get as much prepped done as I wanted, John. So let me look at that really quick.
Tobacco Town Showdown, the 8th. I believe that starts around 3 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the
schedule
right now.
Pro Stocks, Limited Pro Stocks, Super Farm, Pro Street Diesel Trucks, Hot Farms. I think I'm missing one, but that track is a good track as well. It's a good show. Great facility there at the Thresherman's Park. They park you out there and they bring you in with the old tractors and the wagons like they do for the threshery. Get you right in there. Great food. A lot of great food there. They actually run out last year. I'm sure they're planning ahead this year. And they got a band afterward.
I love it. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. I am trying to get there. I got the results. I had the results queued up from Shopiere. And I thought I had the schedule up, and I went looking for it, and it didn't pull up for me. So I'm going to do that real quick right now.
J.B. Larson, winner of Pro Stock Diesel Trucks, used a test hook and come out and laid down a beautiful pass. I think it was like 337 and change, and they couldn't quite reach it.
I saw Funk was 333.
Yeah, Funk was just short of them, but they had some good passes as well. Hot Farms, Rod Hogan won the Hot Farms with the Hustlin' Harvester. That was a tough class too, and he had a little different tires on than the other guys too. The single cut, top cut, I guess you could say, wasn't the double cut tires, so that might have helped him. His run's good though.
Yeah, kind of that cut and a half tire, that top cut. Yep.
Yeah, he picked a good gear, had good momentum, and was rolling right through there.
Good numbers in all the classes from what I can tell, John. So Rod was 324. Travis Tees was 320. Lane Meyer was 319 and third. Adam Adrian was 4th. Tracy Paulson was 5th. Vesbach was 6th. Vesbach won Baraboo. I know that. He won the American Family Children's Hospital poll. Dave Baker. So it looks like we had 14 hot farms. Light limited, we had
So is it my internet freezing up or what?
John, did I lose you?
Must be my internet screwing up.
No, I think it's mine, John. We had we've had outages all day in Richland Center today. I think the internet's starting to just. I've been fighting it all day, so I think I'm back. So
the Zen's boys there, they ruled the roost. Steve Zen's the last one in the class, come ripping down through there with the Oliver and had a beautiful pass. But you look there, Wittenbach, Wacholtz, so the Diesels were up there. So it was a good class.
Yep, that is really good to see. So 10 light limited super stocks. We talked about hot farms. We had 14 hot farms. Pro Street diesel trucks. He touched on that. Jamie Larson with 337 with the General. Funkin Grooven 333. Travis Van Huysen 330. Ben Schimpf, Rock, Jake Thompson off the rails. So 11 3.6 diesel trucks. That's solid numbers. And Super Farm, Dan Vinny doing what Dan Vinny does, getting the win. 341.5. American Chaos, Lance Learman was second, and Jason Vinny was third. Trip Downing, the hometown guy there, was fourth. Josh Duke was fifth.
The story of the night, though, Lance Learman, first time he ever drove Super Farm, held the lead probably for the last part of the class, probably for 3-4 hooks. Held the lead, first time he ever drove, ended up second. I'd be pretty proud of that spot right there.
That tractor came out of Blackburn Shop, right?
Correct. Yep. Said John Deere.
Yep, I thought so, because I think Josh had driven it down in at Shipshewana at the Midwest Winter Nationals, if I remember correctly.
He did.
So.
He drove it over to Ellenville and a couple other places last year as well. And also, congratulations to Trip Downing, I believe, brand new Papa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Jump on his Facebook page and you will see the little tyke right on there.
Homegrown.
Homegrown, yep. Even got the farm shirt on already.
Imagine that. Boom.
Right there.
Still Harvest Farms. Way to go.
One of the spots for Badger State, down and dirty. I think they named her, is it Myra or Maya? It says up there.
Yeah, the last few days have been pretty crazy for Addie and I. Mila Kate Downing made her appearance rather quickly on Thursday morning, June 22nd. Everyone is settled in and home now and doing very well. So,
congratulations.
Awesome.
I can't believe she let him go pulling.
Yeah, I saw him in Toma Friday night. I was like, what are you doing up here? Don't you have a pull tomorrow? He goes, well, yeah, I got one tomorrow in Shopiere. So I was like, all right. Because I had to come up and support the Super Farms. So I was like, heck yeah.
Yeah, that's good for them.
Amanda Stern says Lance is an employee of Blackburn Racing Components. So
yes,
that would make sense.
His wife and the whole crowd there right below the announcer stand just screaming once they found out he got the lead.
Well, yeah. Here's Trips run Saturday night in Shopiere. Our homegrown, our new Badger State daddy.
The track was awesome down there. I know Pat Hack had helped the group build that track, but Jason, that track had moisture in it from start to finish. And with no rain in the area or anything else, I mean, look at that track. And it was taking power too. The hot farms were powering right out. I bet 50% of the hot farms snuffed.
Really?
Yep. First time I've seen that in a long time.
Well, we had Paul Ludy on last week on the show on the Let's Grow polling that we always do right after our Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. And we had him on this show as well. And he did say they have a good track. Now, that was the first time. And again, when I make a comment like this, I'm not ripping on smaller organizations at all. But that's the first time like Badger State had been into Shopiere. They in the past have had they had a really good show on Friday night with PI and I think South Central. But for to bring down a Badger State show Saturday night, John, did they appreciate seeing the bigger, trucks and like the big 360 diesel trucks and the super farms and stuff like that, and hot farms?
Yeah, it was a large crowd down there. They weren't a crowd that was into it because it was pretty hot and they're all sitting in the heat. But they sat back. It was a nice, relaxing night and enjoyed the pull. A lot of good pulling action for them.
Good deal. And that's what it's all about, and you know that. For people to just kind of relax a little bit and enjoy themselves.
Absolutely. Nothing wrong with that
That's
at
what
all.
you want to do. That's what you want to do.
They had a
Christopher Mills
afterwards too. They had a Southern rock band. Yeah. I think they were a really good band. They had some sound system troubles getting started, but I think they got it ironed out before I left.
Good deal. Good deal. I'm just going to play some videos from the poll. I'm going to turn the volume off. But this looks like Lance's tractor right here, the American Chaos, if I remember correctly. So,
Yep.
While we're yakking, this is all video, you guys, from Saturday night. The Badger State Tractor Pullers down in Shopiere, Wisconsin, at the Shopiere days. Again, the volume's off, so John and I can keep talking while we go through the show here. So, let's see.
Fritz Lukey with the Iron Anchor did a great job. Him and Dean Lighton running the sled together.
Good deal. That is awesome. Derek Horstmeyer, who won Super Farm Saturday night? Dan Binney out of Crank It Up, out of Cottage Grove, Wisconsin, on Crank It Up, won Super Farm at 341. He put 11 feet on Lance Learman and 12 feet on Jason Binney. So he had a good pass if Binney did that. So
Dan was the last one in the class, and he picked the right gear with it, got it hooked in, and about 100 foot, he really had some, mid-track speed that really got the momentum going for him to get him out there.
Yeah, that's one thing about announcing, John. You can really tell when somebody's hooked up and going because we're usually a little higher up in the booth, and we can hear them and listen to them and really be able to tell you how it goes. So,
like Barman's there, looked like it unloaded a little bit, didn't stay hooked in. Dan kind of took center track and ended up left of center, finished left of center, had a really nice spot where it finished.
Derek Horstmeyer said, yeah, nice. He had a good night in Baraboo too. Yes, he did. Yeah, the Vinny boys know what they're doing. If you think you're just going to go out and, well, any class in Badger State's tough. You know that, John. It's tough to win. You can get first place one night and get last place the next night, not do a darn thing wrong. That's how competitive it is. So,
yes, that's true. And for those that think you're, just because you got the cubic dollars in, that it's going to get you right to the forefront, that you can't buy the experience.
Yep. That's Brandon Coates' old Hot Farm, Super Farm tractor. The old, Buck. We called it something Buck. Man, I got too many things going on, John. I'm usually a little sharper than this.
Gunsmoke. Gunderson owns it now.
This is Poltergeist, it looks like. So just another buck. Thank you, Adam Stevens. Just another buck. So again, just playing through some of the we're going to keep playing all the videos from Saturday night, Badger State Tractor Pullers in Shopiere, Wisconsin. So do want to do a quick shout out to a couple of Badger State points runners that went up to Toma, and Mr. Timmerman won the two-wheel drive trucks with 41 trucks in the class. I wanted to give them a shout out here on Down and Dirty because that is your past Badger State champion as well, right, John?
Correct.
So,
and John Meyer Jr. got second there, Thursday night or
yep,
Friday night?
Friday night in the 4.1s got second. And then I don't think Ashelman's running with Badger State this year. It looks like he's going to run a lot of NTPA, but he's a former Badger State puller. He got second on Thursday night. And then Colin Burkholz, he got second on – did Colin run Thursday night? Or Colin ran Thursday night, right? The Light Pros?
No, they didn't run till either Friday or Saturday.
Friday night. He got second place on Friday night. Colin did. So these are the kind of comments I like to see. Troy Richoff, thanks for having the Pro Stock diesel trucks. It's nice to only have to drive 45 minutes to a pull every once in a while. And we actually touched on that. There's a lot of pullers, John, tractor and truck pullers that run Badger State from that northern Illinois area or the central Illinois that come up and run the Badger State schedule. So it's great for them to have kind of a pull close to home.
Yep, close for a lot of them guys. That was great. They had great parking, plenty of room. Brought the trucks and tractors across the scale down to the hot pit area. It was a nice track. Smithbacks had a really good hook too. He was test hook. I think he went out about 325. Good strong pass out of their camp. And just other guys just kind of kept figuring out as it went,
Yep. So Morgan Schulte says Colin won Friday afternoon. I'm pretty sure Colin got second. I guess it was Friday afternoon. Here's Colin. Friday afternoon, dummy. 2 tractors away from running Saturday night before the rain. All right, gotcha. So But yeah, John, I sure do get picked on a lot for being a gracious host. You know what I'm saying? So
you kind of dish it out some too. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Is that what you think I deserve? This is what you're saying? So
yeah. See, they get you when you're on the
right.
screen and you're picking on them, you know, when you're in the pits.
Oh, good. Oh, I'll get you back. Don't you worry. Patrick Hack, Trip, Paul, and the crew did a great job getting water down deep days ahead of the pull in Shopiere, and that made it a little easier to keep the track together Saturday night. It's a great track and a great place for BSP to go to. It was definitely a power track all night. Yeah, when Pat Hack says something like that, you know that's a legit compliment. Pat's been around a long time. That's a nice way of calling him old, and he's seen a lot. He's ran a sled. He's awesome at what he does. He's awesome what he does. Okay, Morgan just admitted he was wrong. I want to put that on the screen. He rarely ever admits that when he's wrong, so that's fun. So appreciate him doing that here. So now just I'm hoping, because like I said earlier in the show, this was the first time the Badger State tractor pullers had been in Shopiere. So I hope the crowd enjoyed it, and I hope Paul and everybody down there for that fundraiser, they have good feedback, John, so they can have Badger State back in the packs. Because, you know, and I think in the past it's always been, well, don't put a pull on Tomah, on top of Tomah. Tomah's a couple hours away. Tomah was still going to have a sold-out crowd, and I think you had a really nice crowd down there in Shopiere as well, John. By the time look at the pictures, and they ran classes that were not competing up in Tomah, so to me, it's a nice mix. It's a nice mix for everybody. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
And just because Tomah's going on doesn't mean there can't be others. What's that, John?
All the way to Tomah to get a beer money hat too, just so you know.
That's a nice hat. I was going to say, you know a guy. I probably could hook you up. So, yeah, this is the first year, John, that we did merchandise stands on both sides of the track up there. So I'm glad we did that. That worked out way better. Doug, our general manager, lined that up with Tomah. They hired us beer money to promote their event. So, and that's what we did. So, again, showing some videos. What's that, John?
That truck class is going to be fun to watch all year long. It's going to be really good.
The 360 diesel trucks put on an awesome show. So if you're watching the show right now live with John and I, if you want the show here Saturday night, let us know what you thought. We want your feedback. Mr. Hack put his up here already. We appreciate him doing that. So I want to thank Brandon for going down to the poll and helping out with things. Oleg was down in Mound City, Missouri for PPL, Western Series, Silver Series, down there running the live stream. So Brandon Johnson went down and got all this video for us. So appreciate him doing that.
Did a nice job.
Heck yeah.
Ben Eisen's got their truck back out.
Yep. Which is good to see.
Wiltsey, I think, stuck plunger on the pump down there. He got a win. What he got a win there at Macville, and then Rack stuck on the pump about 3/4 way through the run, and that was it.
Yes. Connor S says 2 great nights of pony. I know they had PI and maybe South Central or Southwest down there Friday night. I don't remember which one of the South clubs they had, but I know they had a really nice crowd Friday night as well. I know they had some gas trucks down there Friday night. Jamie Stevenson, they had a very good poll. Jamie's is really a big part of Edgerton, right? The Tobacco Day is coming up.
Yep. Seen them down there.
Okay.
They had Badger trucks, PI, and South Central, I do believe, Friday night.
Okay.
So it's
Thank you,
super stock down Friday night.
Badger State Tractor Pullers, Linden Station was. Did you pull in Baraboo? We did pull in Baraboo last week, and we're going to be pulling there again, and I think June 20th for the Sauk County Fair. I got the schedule up, John, on my screen. I'm trying to figure out how to, in PDF here, blow it up. There we go. I did it, Stanley. You're going to be proud of me in a second. I promise.
Always proud of you, Jason.
Well, you're just saying that because we're live right now. There's a lot of people watching, so it's all good. July 8th, Edgerton, Wisconsin. That's the tobacco shootout right now. I know we're promoting that. I got a nice flyer.
Then Jefferson County Fair. Then it'll be the Sauk County Fair in Baraboo.
Tobacco Town Showdown. Put that on the screen right there. There you go, guys. Saturday, July 8th, 3 p.m. Is this the third year of Badger State down there, John? At the Threshery grounds, or is this a fourth year now? I know they had a couple test and tunes, right?
This is the second year.
Second year, okay.
Yeah, second year there.
And this is a different location than what it was like when I pulled my hot farm there, right? After that Sunday after Macville, I feel like we used to go to Edgerton, but that's at a different location, right? This is a different group putting this on?
Yep, this is a different group, different location. It wasn't Racetrack Park in Edgerton on Father's Day. And the FFA had run that one. And these guys here are affiliated with the Thresherman's Park there, so.
Well, Stevenson says third, and he knows. So
third. Okay.
The third Badger State poll there, so.
That's correct.
And they got the pro stocks there. Oh, awesome. Is that a good track, John? It must be if they're running pros.
Very good. Yeah, it's a very good track.
Dude, that's horsepower right there. Pro stocks, 4-1s, hot farms, super farms, diesel trucks, light limited super. That's a heck of a good show, you guys. Saturday, July 8th, 3 p.m. If I was in the area, that's one you want to write down and head to Edgerton. You know, I would think that one has a ton of potential too, John, being so close to Janesville. There's Rock County, you know. That should be well attended, my man. Should be well attended. So
yeah, it's right in between Edgerton and Janesville, right off 51 down there in County M. It's really easy to get to.
Now, starting so early, do they have something going on that night, like a big band or something like that? Normally, we don't see polls starting at 3. Is there some marketing behind that? Do you know, John?
I don't know if there's any marketing on that. I know they had a band last year. I'd assume that they're going to have a band this year. They actually had stuff pulling beforehand last year, some other classes. Jamie, if you're on, is there other classes beforehand, like at noon or something, or what's going on with that?
I like it. I like getting done pulling around 10:30 at the latest, John. It's nice because you can still have a chance to get home. I think I burnt myself out from Richland Center back in those early days when Greg would tell me I had way too many classes. I say, no, we don't. And then you look up at midnight and there's like 10 people left in the stands. You're not selling any beer anymore. It's like, we don't need 13 classes next year. I really feel, and this is a good question for all you fans. We have a lot of people watching tonight because you all love Strandley. I think my vote is like 3.5 hours to 3 hours is a perfect time for a show. Obviously, you got to keep it moving in those 3.5 hours. I don't want to sit there and just pick my nose, but I feel like that's a nice time, you know, like a 6 to a 9:30 or a 7 to a 10:30 or a 6:30 to a 10, something like that. I feel like if you have little ones, it's not too late. You can still get them home. They can sleep on the way home and different things like that. It's just, I think that's nice. So Amanda Stern says no lights. That's why they start at 3 o'clock, Strand Man, because there's no lights. So
no lights.
And Adam Stevens says, I love being home around 9 o'clock. It's because he got rained out. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. His beautiful slow ride tractor, 4.1 limited fuel. Jamie Stevenson says, so 2 spectator truck classes and Jason Cluppy's class at noon. Wow, Cluppy's a big deal if he's got his own class. You know what I mean? Like he used to pull an altered farm, but now they just call it the Cluppy class. I like that. So
move over, Schultz. Cluppy town.
He can have it because I have bad luck in Richland Center promoting events with rain, so he can have it.
Lights are. How about the sound system, Jamie? Are you with me on this one?
Ooh, we're coming at you hard. I'm gonna send Jamie a link because he's up next. We're just gonna have him on the show. How about that? On the go like this. You like that, Strand Man? Is that okay with you? I'm going to jump on your Facebook. Jamie, check your Facebook Messenger. Jamie, check your Facebook Messenger in about 30 seconds. And I'm going to send you the link. Click on that link. If Stranley can get on the show, anybody can get on the. He has Tower Sound. Tower Sound is the best. I don't care what anybody says. They are great.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only thing they were lacking last year. There's too many people that couldn't hear, on all the grounds there. So,
Jamie, check your Facebook Messenger, Jamie. We're not Facebook friends, so it'll be in your chats under non-friends, but you can find me. So I'll delete somebody so I can add you. They stop you at 5,000 friends now, John. So I have to delete somebody. Yeah.
Holy crap! I think I only got like 100 or something. You
got more than that. Let's Facebook stalk you. See how many Facebook friends you have, Strandman. So.
Oh boy.
You have 2,100 Facebook friends. You and I have 328 mutual Facebook friends, John. So.
Wow.
John, we've been friends for at least 15 years. I mean, real friends too, not just on Facebook. So.
True. Yes. Where'd that time go?
You helped me out a ton in those earlier years in Richland Center with the Tri-County mini rods and just giving me advice, and I appreciate that for the rest of my life.
We had a lot of fun. That was always fun pulling there.
It'll be back. Just let me get my ducks in a row on a few other things, and I'm not giving up on a pull in Richland Center, so don't you worry. And I love mini rods, you know that. You let me drive yours. It was awesome. So
it's a good track there too. You guys did a great job at that.
Well, the question is like seeing what Jamie went through. We did the same thing: lights, sound, track, the whole thing. It was crazy. Yeah. It was crazy over the years. So we'll get Stevenson on here in just a second. We'll flip through some of the other ones here real quick. Sauk County Fair, Friday, July 14th. That's back in Baraboo, the same place as the American Family Children's Hospital pull, 6:30 p.m. Got to have a little Randy Bruce sighting on there. Do they run 2 tracks at the fair as well?
Yep.
2-wheelers, man. 10 pros. It gets pulling fans. It gets crazy busy now from here on out. Crazy busy.
Yeah.
From here on out. So that would have been. There's Edgerton. Jason, you're the reason our addictive pulling team has so many followers. No, Kyle, you put a cool GoPro on the back of your truck facing backwards, and I put that video on Beer Money. It was awesome, Strand, man.
Really?
It was awesome. Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Oh, that's years ago. Years ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, back at Richland Center. Probably when his truck was like a 2.6 or maybe like a work stock, John. Remember those early days of diesel trucks? We just kind of threw them all together and let them beat each other up. So here's Helenville. John touched on that a little bit. Friday, July 21st, 7 p.m. Shout out to Ryan Zolik, too. He makes all of these awesome graphics for the Badger State tractor pullers. Badger State's very, very blessed with talented people like Ryan Zolik and Brandon Johnson that puts this stuff together for the Facebook page. They do an amazing job. Great picture of last year's points champion, Mr. Burkhart. He's got a 4.1 limited pro now. I got to see that run in Byron, Illinois before the season started. He ran down there with ISP, Illinois State Pullers.
Illini State, yep.
Yep, Illinois State. Down there by the, whatchamajigs, the nuclear power plants. So,
yep.
Lafayette County Fair, Darlington. Yep. Lafayette County Fair, Saturday, July 15th. 4-1 Super Farms, 360 so Trucks Hot Farms Pro Stocks, 6 p.m. They have a gigantic farm pull, like some of the biggest payouts I've ever seen for farm stock pulling. They do that. And there's Helenville. Lafayette County Fair. See if Jamie messaged me back yet. He has not. Has he seen it? He has seen it. That's good. So we'll be on our way a little bit. So this is the schedule for the Super Farm tractors. Zoic put this together. If you pay attention, follow us on Facebook. It's really cool to do that. Your camera's backwards, Jamie. Okay, go down to your settings, Jamie, and go to camera and then go to front view. It's on back view right now. You'll see that. Down there towards the bottom of the StreamYard. So I do want to give a quick shout out to Full Pull. They're the ones doing the sports wagering, and it's not all about that, but that app's going to be available in the next couple of days, and they did some stuff in Toma as well, and we'll be getting Badger State involved with that at Hillsboro with the Pro Pulling League. So keep that up there. They were doing some pick the winner contest where people were winning money, hundreds of dollars, and they had some $1,000 bounties out there if you could pick every class winner. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
So that's up.
What's that, John?
Full Pull Bets is up and going.
Yep. So they're rebranded as just Full Pull. They're marketing people. The whole idea is that this is the greatest motorsport in the world, and the app is going to be more than just wagering. So it's going to have video. It's going to have puller history. Everything you need to know about truck and tractor pulling is going to be on this app. So they rebranded as Full Pull instead of Full Pull Bets. But the app is available on the Android devices right now. It's supposed to be on the Apple Play. Is that what it is, John? Are you an iPhone guy?
Yep.
Yeah, the Apple Store. It's supposed to be sometime tonight, and that's when the app will be available. It wasn't quite ready for Toma, but they had their big trailer up there, and they did a bunch of interviews. Miles Krieger led that with Chase, and we brought a bunch of different pullers on as well. It was a lot of fun. So you can follow Full Pull on Facebook. They did an awesome job, and they brought in a professional video crew. There's some really, really good stuff up there that they did. So really, really good stuff. And they, like I said, we will see them involved with Badger State in the future. So this is year number 1 as they're launching this. So again, we're waiting for Jamie to jump on. But Edgerton, Wisconsin, Jamie, the promoter down there. I say down there, but it's south of Richland Center. 3 p.m. July 8th, Jefferson, Wisconsin, July 12th, Baraboo, Wisconsin, July 14th. And guys, I'm right on the Badger State schedule. Go to bstponline.com or .org. Both of them point to that, or just Google Badger State Tractor Pullers. You'll find the website. Our Facebook page is over 100,000 followers now for Badger State Tractor Pullers. So we're out there if you're paying attention. July 14th, Baraboo, Wisconsin, 6:30 p.m. And all these X's, if you've never seen a schedule like this, you scroll to the top and it'll tell you the class, and then they put an X in the classes that they have. So obviously pros, your 10,000-pound pros, LI pros, your limited pro, 540 light pros, super farms, light limited super stock, 640 pro farms, 466 hot farms, Pro 6 diesel trucks, which is the 3.6 trucks like Jamie Lars won down there in Shopiere and Relentless did up there in Macville. Limited pro diesel truck, that's your 3.0 diesel truck, your 2-wheel drive mods. Semis, I don't think we have any semi hooks this year. 4x4 mod trucks, light super stocks, unlimited super stocks, and super stock diesel trucks. So that's a lot of times that's a Macville or a Hillsboro when they're able to grab the Champions Tour classes or from the PPL. But July is a busy month for all you Badger State pulling fans. Darlington Pull of the Year last year is coming up. Monroe, Helenville, Freeport, 2 days of Freeport, Mazomania, Wisconsin, Dubuque, Iowa, all here in July. And then you can see August and then September. It's funny, John, we get so excited for pulling season, and then it gets here, and I feel like it just goes boom, 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 and I feel like it's over. But that's summer. We're so busy. So, yes, it's Jamie, on a phone. Jamie, you can use it on your phone. I promise. I promise. There he is. Boom. Stevenson, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how's it going?
Good to see you.
I guess it's good to be seen. I'm no expert with this stuff.
That's okay. We got Stranley trained. We can get you trained too, bud. So.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, we want to give you a shout out. Thank you for building a Badger State pulling event, a new one. I've heard good things about your event, and let's go through it a little bit. I'll let Strandman take over. I'll put the graphic back up on the screen, and you guys talk. So.
All right.
The best pork chops in Rock County are there.
Mr. Wheeler.
Yep.
Dave Wheeler does a great job doing pork chops. He's been a good food vendor out there during our Labor Day weekend steam show and stuff, and he's been a big backer of our organization for many years. He does a really good job.
You guys have a band again this year?
No, we're not going to do a band, but we're going to we're gonna just play some music afterwards. The band was good, but where we had it, it didn't really work well. It didn't seem like we could get the crowd to move to where the band was. You almost have to have the band right at the polling site, the way I see it. But we may again.
If I can jump in on top of that, Jamie, that comment. If you ever have a band at a poll, you have to have your band ready, and they literally got to start playing during the last hook. So
Exactly.
when John wraps up and says, "Thanks for coming to Edgerton. Have a great night, everybody. Drive safe. Don't be a dumbass." That's me. I say don't be a dumbass. Stanley's way more professional than that. But you got to have that band playing right away, because we've tried it in Richland Center. Well, I always booked way too many classes at Richland Center. We went too late. By then, everybody's ready to go home. But if you want to have a band, I think you can't start them too late. I mean, if anybody wants to give us good suggestions on that, we sure are willing to do that. So, and listen.
Yeah,
so.
Definitely agree with that. I mean, they did fire her up right after the last hook, but it was a distance away from where the pulling action was, and that just didn't seem to work real well.
Jamie, who are some of the people that helped put this on down in Edgerton, bud?
Well, I'm the committee chair, and it's our threshery club, basically. I've got a pretty good sized committee of people that help out. Our president, our treasurer, everybody's really involved from a board level of our organization, and we're just a committee inside of that. I'm kind of the spark plug with some help from our club president, a few other big key people, and it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun too.
It definitely is. It definitely is. Who are some of the big sponsors that help put it on?
We have 4 big sponsors that help out. We have United Alloy right there in Janesville. They're a manufacturing outfit, do a lot of welding and fabricating. We have Nutrient Ag Solutions of southern Wisconsin. Their office is down out of Beloit. We have Carl Shell up in Newville. That's Amy and Charlie Rutz.
Okay.
And oh boy, put me on the spot and I blow it. Nutrient, Carl Shell, United Alloy. Oh, and Boucher Automotive Group of Janesville.
Oh, okay.
As well. Yep.
What's your guys' Facebook page?
Tobacco Town Showdown.
There it is.
Mr. Johnson helps manage that with us.
Yeah, he told me that. Here's some. Flip through some of the photos from last year. I like to do this. Well, I see John's pork chops coming up in the next picture. So, or is that what you said, pork chops? I think, John.
Yeah, Dave Wheeler's. You got a big grill there.
If that doesn't make you hungry, John, you shouldn't be eating. If you know what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, that there was the backyard barbecue that was there last year. He's got some excellent food. Excellent.
Yeah. Macaroni and cheese is the reason I'm fat, just so you know. Is that a 79, John?
Nope, that's like a 75 or 6.
Okay.
79 had the square headlights.
Okay.
Mr. Johnson from Edgerton. That's a good running truck.
That's a good picture. I like that picture a lot.
That truck had a Cummins in it at one time.
So this is the official poster right here.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm going to save that and put that on Beer Money like right now. I know a guy who can do that. So spectator trucks at noon, Badger State at 3 p.m. I like that. Get people out there having a good time. Mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, last year was the first time we went to that start time, and it worked out good. You had guys that liked the spectator trucks that were in there, and if they didn't want to hang around, they left. We had about a 45-minute intermission where we could dress the track a little if needed, and Badger State had time to get all their signage and all that sort of thing up. And I think we started off right at 3:03 last year, so we were pretty much right on time.
And you brought in the Pro Stocks. I mean, that's that's awesome. I mean, everybody loves the Pro Stocks. That's cool. So, yeah,
last year was the first year of the Pro Stocks, and they were all fairly happy with how things went. So I don't think it took a whole lot of convincing to get them to come back.
No, that's awesome. That's a cool poster. That is a cool poster. Yeah, Boucher Auto Group, United Outlay, Nutrient Ag Solutions, and Carl Shell out of Newville. I love it. Love it, love
Yep.
it, love
Yep.
it. Nice picture
What
of
got
Mr.
you
Downey.
guys to decide to do this? 3 years ago to put this together, to get this going, because you guys had to make changes and stuff to put that track in down there and guardrail and everything, didn't you?
Yep. There was none of it there previously. I had been a big fan of tractor pulling, goes way back to my high school days. And there was talk about doing something like this out there about 15, 20 years ago. And we just didn't have the right board at the time that kind of wanted to do something like that. And then we're always looking for a way to kind of have another revenue stream, if you will. And we had a haunted train ride out there for many years, and that went pretty well. And then that started kind of dying at the end. And somebody said to me, well, let's build a track. I says, well, I wanted to do that 15 years ago. Let's do it. So it's kind of what we did.
It helps when you have some people around, Jamie, that have some passion in it and, really want to help out, because it takes an army. So.
Oh yeah, and back in the 80s, running around the tractor pulls and stuff, and I always watched the track crew, and you could tell organizations that had the right equipment and the right people on that equipment in the right places at the right time, so the show moved well. To me, that's my biggest thing, is I want to see that show move along. I don't want to see 5 minutes between hooks or 6 minutes between hooks. I want them to turn pretty quick.
That's the one thing we've talked about quite a bit, and John and I've done it as well, is that pulling's great when something's going down the track, but how do we keep everybody engaged? That's where a good announcer like a Strandley is worth his weight in gold, to keep the crowd entertained and having the video board and stuff like that. So.
Oh, exactly. Strandley's worth way more than that man gets paid. And
John, I put the paperwork in for a raise. It's a third level review now, just so you know. So.
Oh, it's
and we're not gonna let you down this year on sound, John. I got Tower Sound coming in, and they have guaranteed me they'll be able to hear us throughout the county. So we'll see how that goes.
They do a great job, and everywhere we go, they dial it right in, and I've helped get them into a few places. Mazomania had somebody that wasn't really up to par, and people were complaining that they couldn't hear me on the other side. They couldn't hear the interviews, and the guy that was running the sound, he just kept turning it down. And then they come over and say, "What's going on?" I said, "Oh, you gotta talk to him. He keeps turning it down. He should be turning it up." And so after that, I was in Richland Center, and a couple of people from the board there come over and see me and said, "What should we do?" I said, "Hire Tower Sound. Your troubles will be over." So Tower Sound comes, and they set the mics up good too. They set the mics up for the announcers, but then if there's going to be a microphone for interviews where people that normally don't talk, on a microphone, they set it up so that you can hear them clear as a bell, and it works great. And you guys, had a budget and tried to do what you could, and it just, the people need to hear, they want to hear the distances, and not only that, your sponsors, get your sponsors out that are paying for the pull, that make sure that people like Jason and I get them covered, or Stacy or whoever's announcing, Christopher, that's their due diligence for that show as well. So all around good thing, you're front man for the band.
Yes, sir.
Pat Hack, he's giving good compliments tonight. We got to pay him more, Strandley. Jamie has put together a great team that runs the pull. It's a bit of a challenge to start a pull at 3:00, and he just means because of daytime. That's nothing wrong.
Yep.
It's hard to keep a track hooking and moist and during the day. And John knows this, Jamie knows this, but I understand if you don't have lights, you don't want to pull in the dark either. And run Pro Stock in the show. But we got it done last year and ready for the challenge again this year. So that's awesome.
Yep. We have some track lighting currently that's not bad. But our challenge is, we've got 156 acres out there, and not all of it has power. When we do our threshery over Labor Day weekend, the parking lot's usually all empty by dark, so
Yep.
we did have some light plants on hand last year, and we will again this year if for some reason we would run late. There'll be enough light that we'll be able to see the tractors going down the track, and the drivers will be able to see. But it's more, the people moving around in the parking area that's more of a concern for us.
Well, the best part though about daytime pulls is you get pictures like this because
Yes.
the light is perfect, Jamie. So photographers love daytime shots.
Yeah, they like the shady side of the track at that time of the day for taking pictures, no doubt about it.
Yep, absolutely. What's been the biggest challenge, Jamie, of putting together a big event like this?
Well, one of the biggest challenges for me is I'm not necessarily a real organized person, but with something like this, there has to be some organization, and I get a little wigged out when time's getting close and I don't have commitments and things set in stone yet. So this is my next couple of weeks where I'll start getting a little wigged out, but it'll all come together.
That's the same anxiety that every promoter has. Even the Don Slamas of the world, Jamie, get wigged out. So don't worry. Don't you worry. That means you care. That means you care. So
I have a passion for it.
For sure.
Yep. Try to put the best pull on for the fans.
Exactly. And the pullers. My big thing is I want the pullers to be happy there. If they're not happy there, why would they want to come back? So that's my thing is to really make sure the guys are happy. Last year we did a raised purse of $1,000 per class, paid out $532. This year we're going to bump that up to $1,500 per class, and we'll go 54321.
Wow.
And what he's referring to is extra money to the top 3 or 4 spots, fans, if you're wondering what the 54321 means.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last year, Mike Jelly won the Super Farm, and I told him to come up there. We had Jamie had a case of beer for him and $500, and a couple of his buddies told him, "Hey, go up there and see John. He's got a case of beer and $500 for you." And he thought that they were pulling his leg. He didn't think it was true. He thought he was coming up there and I was going to put him on the spot, and that wasn't true. Well, he come up, and Jamie had just stepped away. It was just timing. Jamie stepped away, Mike pulled up, and he's looking at me, all weird, like, what are you going to do to me? And I'm like, no, he's got $500 for you in a case of beer for winning today. Well, I don't believe it. I think they're messing with me. I said, no, it's true. So I called for Jamie, and Jamie showed up and said, where's the winner? I said, he's right here. Well, here's your case of beer, and here's your $500. And he couldn't believe it. He was just in shock and happy all at the same time. It was funny. So then they said the same thing, and he says, I'm not falling for it. I know they don't have it this time.
Yeah, some of those guys were a little amazed at first. I did announce that at the drivers' meeting last year, but not everybody makes that every poll. So
that's awesome when you can do that. That pullers are really appreciative of that, and that little bit of extra money goes a long ways. The price of fuel and what it costs to run these things,
Oh,
so
yeah, fuel money's as a puller, fuel money is a big thing, Jamie. When you run around like that, the extra fuel money, because you've already got the investment into the pulling vehicle, but that helps. Anything helps. A little extra cha-ching there in the pocket to throw some diesel in the semi or your hauler there. It works out nice. So that goes a long ways. Now it's weird, Stranley, that they don't trust you like that. I wonder where that comes from. Is that years of mistrust, John, or how do you want to? Is this your chance to go public and admit it? So.
Okay, so it started out with this guy that announces called Jason Schultz, always pulling the legs of people in pits and joshing them, you could say, or however you want to say it.
Joshing them.
So they don't trust all the announcers that way. See.
So you're saying because of me and my ability to be a little mischievous at times has given you a bad name,
Yes.
Stranley? So.
Yes, old Churn and Charlie tricks. You know what I mean?
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to all the announcers out there. I'm sorry that I've made your job more difficult. So
Yeah, or easier.
Well, guys, I want to wrap this up. I got to get prepped up for Let's Grow polling here in a few minutes. Jamie, thanks for coming on tonight. Thank you for being a promoter. As a poller and somebody who has a full-time staff now promoting truck and tractor polling, thank you to all the promoters out there. I know how hard the work is. I know that you can have everything perfect, and a 50% chance of rain can scare away a couple hundred people, and a couple hundred people can be the difference between breaking even and not. And without sponsorship like United Alloys and the Boucher Group, you said, I'm trying to go off the top of my head. I'm missing one of them.
Carl Shell, Nutrient Egg Solutions.
Yeah. Without sponsors like that, you know, Jamie talked about wigging out a little bit. You know, a Badger State show like this can cost 15 to 20 grand by the time you get a sled and the extra purse money and stuff like that. You know, it take 1,000 people at $20 a piece, and it doesn't sound like a lot, 1,000 people, but that's a lot of people. I mean, just to break even, and you're sitting there watching people coming in, and I've seen the worst thing that can happen to any promoter, and everybody agrees with this, is have a good day, but there's like a 40% chance of rain or a 50% chance of rain at 6 o'clock. And everybody's got their smartphones now, and that's what tells them. And I've been there so many times. Richland Center, we've watched it just come right at us, and it just makes you want to cry. So I feel the heart of every promoter and the passion that they put into an event like this to do it, and the sponsorship, and just really, really appreciative. And you heard Jamie say he wants the pullers to be happy. Okay. And that building a good track, and they're doing that down there. If you got pad hack involved, that means you're taking your track building seriously, you know. And the fact that you know, I love hearing, like Jamie say, I used to go to pulls and watch the track equipment, you know, watch where they start the scraper, watch where they start the packer. Those are just the little things that truly make your event different and make it better. And it makes, you know, when you can keep 10,000 pound pro stock tractor pullers happy, you're doing a dang good job, because they like power tracks, because they don't want to spend that 4,500 horsepower and just sit and spin. So
they sure don't. I need Pat Hack and I go back to our late teens, something like that. Known the man a long time. And I also need to give a big shout out to Marianne Wildman at Top Line Crop Insurance, because without rain insurance, I'd be really nervous.
Yep. Speaking of rain insurance, I've sat there before. I used to buy a 1/2 inch on those early days because that was always cheaper. And I sat there one year and watched it, because a 1/2 inch doesn't sound like much, does it? But when you sit there with your friends, and you know you got a $20,000 bill you still got to pay, even though it got rained out, and that 1/2 inch, that's a while.
Yep.
We sat there Strandley underneath the Jessica Dahl building, Doc Myers and I, and we just watched it rain. And we barely made it that one year, but that's scary. So that
sure is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the impromptu invite. I wasn't planning on this, so.
Well, that's what we like to do. We keep it fresh. You know, you never know who's going to be on Down and Dirty with the Badger State Tractor Pullers. So,
yeah,
well, John doesn't usually know until about 15 minutes before the show, because I'm always so organized.
Yeah, I think I've seen you fresh a few times, Schultz.
Oh yeah. I'll do the best I can. So awesome, Jamie.
Right.
Good luck Saturday, July 8th, Strand Man. I'll see you next Monday, buddy.
All right. See you guys. See you in a
Thanks
couple
for
weeks.
Have a good night.
Night, everybody.